Welcome back to our conversation about routine. Now, I've already had a few conversations about this, so please go to my YouTube channel, check them out, and there's more to come. So if you subscribe, you'll find out about them. Oh, there's a reminder. How handy. Okay, routine. What are the sorts of things that we need a routine around? What are the sorts of things that can really benefit us when we have a routine? I'm going to start with one that won't be obvious to a lot of you, or to a lot of us. So the area that I'm talking about is what I would call the spiritual. Now, I know I've got good friends, close friends, who aren't interested in that conversation. At the same time, I know that spirit is something that's important to them. You might have other words for it. You might call it, I know, the universe. You might call it God. You might call it religion. You might call it getting in touch with yourself. I don't know what you might call it. I call it spiritual. And when I say spiritual, I'm referring to that part of us that we can't really touch or sense other than when we have feelings outside of the senses. Those feelings of, I don't know, connectedness with other people on a grand scale. Those feelings that we're part of something bigger than ourselves. Now, the reason why I suggest this is a critical part, and I'll give an example in a moment, is that I believe the spiritual part of us is what draws us into the most excellent version of our life. So it's the spiritual part of us. Again, with the elite performers, it's going to be their spirit. It's that higher energy that's going to draw them to compete at that extreme level. The same goes for the rest of us. Now, a great example is I know more than one successful business person, more than one person who's very successful in their life with relationships and other things. They haven't always been. They've had their struggles. And where it turned around was once they started to look at their spiritual world. And in fact, in many cases, they actually spend their first moments, minutes, hours, in some cases, with their God. And these guys are some of the most successful in the world. If you want to look at a great example, he's all over the place. Eric Thomas, E.T., the hip-hop preacher. You'll find he spends hours with his God every day. He gets up before dawn, hours with his God, and then he has this incredible life that he builds based on his connection with spirit.